Hey everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. Today I had the opportunity to sit down with the guys from a band out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin called Faded Places. Did an interview. I've been wanting to do more interviews, and these guys were really wanting to do one as well. So it just made sense for us to go ahead, sit down together, and have a chat. Standard interview questions for some, and more fun stuff towards the end. So listen all the way through and watch all the way through. You guys won't be disappointed. Let's get on with the interview. Here's Faded Places on the On the Rail Radio YouTube channel. Hey everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. I have on my camera and on my microphone right now, I have the guys from Faded Places out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Why don't you guys go ahead and give an introduction to yourselves here?
I'm Eric. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Ron. I drum and backup sing.
I'm Jeremy. I play bass and sing and backup sing and all the singing stuff too.
Awesome. So it sounds like everybody sings, which isn't like a usual thing in a band, right? You don't often see, especially nowadays, you don't see drummers with mics in their faces much anymore. So Ron, I know you from another band as well. And I've seen a mic in your face like every show that I've gone to of yours. But let's talk about Faded Places. Now, and I told you guys that this is going to be one of the standard questions, right? So there's all different ways that bands meet together, whether it's you guys meet at other shows and you guys talk about, hey, I play this in this band and I do this in that band. How did you guys come together as a band?
You take it.
All right. Well, so I was going through some stuff and I had like 5 songs that I'd written. I was going through divorce, all the things of life and on all that stuff. And I wrote these 5 songs. And it ranged from divorce, addiction, all these types of things. And
Cool.
then I worked on it, was working on these songs with a guitar player that used to play with us. So, and then we tried multiple drummers, one from my old band, one went to jail. One, and then we met Ron through our old guitar player who played it with us. We were a 4-piece, and then I gave Jeremy and I worked together for the Pap Cedar group for many years,
Okay.
long time ago, and together. So, and we've worked on other musical projects through the years and stuff. So, and then we formed, and now as of recently, so we recorded those songs, and then we did that, and then we started writing our own songs together, and that's pretty much been the thing. Jeremy's brought some to the table. We had so the first EP we did was like a lot of like I said, I had these songs I had. Jeremy brought a couple to the table and whatnot, and then from there we pretty much have been writing songs as a band. So the new single we did, which I'm sure we'll talk about, was a collaborative writing and all that. So
Awesome. So since you brought up your songwriting process, can you walk us through you guys' process, like as a team putting together a song and writing it out?
Wow. Is there a process?
Well, there's multiple different versions of the process.
Yeah. So at first, like he said, there were 5 songs that were written that we kind of all, fleshed out using our individual input, but they were pretty much written. And then I had a few songs that were written as well as far as structure, but we all kind of added our piece to it. But the last couple of songs now, it's been like 4 or 5, I think, that somebody comes with an idea, a basic idea, and we all build on top of that. So it's a true collaboration, basically.
Okay. I'm gonna unshare the screen here because that's gonna come through in the video. So give me 1 second while I close the share here. Hopefully it doesn't want to.
Are you sharing? We can't see it.
Oh, well, okay then. Actually, it'll come through in the video, but the cool thing is I can edit it down. Plus, I can edit all this stuff out too. So,
Well, I wanted to
actually, the share stopped. So good, we're in good shape. All
yeah.
right. So, is there a lot of bands nowadays, especially with all of the social stuff going on, whether it's political, whether it's social injustices for certain classes of people, right? Do you have any themes or messages that you like to push through your music as well, something along those lines? Or are you guys just in it to have fun and write about what you feel and know?
I think there's a saturation of that right now. I think we try and almost avoid it because we actually, as far as political, we don't really even cover that much in conversation. We do, but yeah, no, they're mostly personal experiences, and like I said, now they've become sort of a hybrid of all of our stuff. Like our new single, "When You Fall Again," is sort of a mix of a couple of experiences. So
Awesome. Oh, and I want to let you guys know that I've played your single on my show Echoes from the Underground before. And I actually closed out my show with it today. So because I figured it was a great way to end the show. Why the hell not, right? I'm going to be interviewing you guys within a half hour of the show being done. I figured it was a great way to end it. Now,
Cool.
is that your latest release? And if so, what what was the inspiration behind that one?
That's the one that we were saying. We did another interview recently, and we was like asking. So it's weird with the writing process. Like I can literally say, like usually a person takes the lead on lyrics because it's really, because it's personal. There's a theme. We'll add it to it. So, and as needed. But like I think like with the songs prior, we were, very much I can be like, oh, this song was about this or whatever. But I think that there's definitely a theme, and I think it means a little bit different. And I think we write metaphorically in a lot of ways. So obviously, loss, relationship, is a theme there. We so there's that, all of that, and then kind of leave it up to the listener more
Cool.
so than anything.
That's awesome, and I love that you guys kind of like let it fall in the listener's lap, let them determine, pull out what they want from the songs, and songs that are written that way to me convey an interesting message to everybody because they see it their own way, and I dig that a lot. So, how many times have you guys played out live?
Oh God.
A
A
lot.
bunch.
Well, we've been a band since 2022. Our first show was in my garage. We had a Halloween party,
Awesome.
and that was our first gig. And I would say that was like the birth of the band. And then from there, we played a bunch of shows, and mainly Milwaukee. We played Shane Call, Miramar.
Did the Wise
Uh,
Farm thing. That was cool.
well, yeah, bunch of different stuff. We did Chill on the Hill.
We did a couple
Um,
outdoor gigs, yeah.
So
40, 30,
yeah,
something
30 or 40.
30 or 40.
Awesome. So, out of all of those, what's your most memorable live performance and why?
Ooh.
I would say Miramar Theater because
Yeah.
of the LED wall that we had, and we have a bunch of content. We actually had Instrumental Motion come out, and they shot that one. So on our YouTube channel, there's a
Cool.
lot of videos of that where we've released and cut up her song where we had an LED wall, and our friends over there operated that, and Sarah, um, and she did visuals. It's Jeremy's significant other, and like so it was like cool. So it was kind of like, it was like, yeah, this is what we want it to look like. I wish every show could be that way, but
All
having an
right.
LED wall is pretty expensive.
So,
Someday,
do you
maybe.
guys do you guys have any pre-show rituals at all?
No,
Ooh, I actually
I
kind of
stretch.
Yeah, he
I
did.
stretch.
Yes.
I stretch because I'm, getting up there. So you gotta, or it's gonna hurt yourself. But Ron,
So I'm actually like a huge baseball guy. So I warm up kind of like as a picture in a bullpen of just warming up like shoulders and arms to make sure that everything's kind of like loosen up that way. Make sure I have enough caffeine in my system. Make sure I have enough ginger beer in my system and enough waters in my system for a show. And yeah, along with the stretching and just kind of like warming up like Blake Snell before actually going behind a kit.
Awesome. Yeah, those now stretching, and I'm an older guy too. I mean, you see the gray hair, right? Yeah, I'm an older guy too, and I understand the importance of stretching. Hell, I stretch before I go watch a show, not much
Yes.
much less partake one. Um, so, are there any like really big challenges that you guys have faced as a band so far?
Yeah,
we used to be a 4-piece. So there is that. When we decided to part ways with our previous guitar player, the adaptation from being a 4-piece to a trio we spent a few weeks on that, and it's just coming to the point where it's starting to gel and it really feels natural.
Yeah.
But there was holes to fill, like all kinds of different things to overcome.
Yeah, Jeremy's had to pick. We all had to pick up. Ron taking harmonies, more harmonies, more bass solos.
Yeah, more bass solos.
I'm picking up a couple more guitar solos. But I think we're really I don't know. I mean, if somebody comes along down the road where we add another guitar player or you put something, we're not opposed to it. But right now, we're really enjoying the three-piece aspect, and we're actually are looking forward to start playing out this. I'm really going to try hit it a lot this spring, and whatnot. And yeah, so been doing that.
Awesome.
That was my
So,
biggest challenge.
so you guys being in Milwaukee, being in Milwaukee, has the Milwaukee scene influenced your career and your music at all?
Good God. I mean, entirely. So we worked.
Yes.
So just for Eric and I, we worked for the Pep Theater Group for about 6 or 7 years each. I'm not sure exactly.
I've been there. I was there for 15,
He
but
was
yes.
there for 15.
Wow.
I was there for
Together
about
six.
7 years.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like a master class. You'd see a lot of the local scene, and then you also see the national scene and the international. So all that coming through really had like an effect on me. I was taking notes the whole time.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I grew up in the Milwaukee punk scene and the underground scene for the longest time, and I believe I'm still there for the most part. But also kind of drifted in between like the bigger shows as well too. So Milwaukee all the years of my life thus far.
Awesome. So since you guys have come together as a band, how have you guys like grown and evolved your sound and your brand?
Hmm.
I mean, that's something we're still working on. I think there, as like I said, I think this is all just natural evolution of like, being artists and making music. I mean, we just rehearsed our set before doing this because we might as well when we're getting together. But like it's been changing, so it's like it's kind of interesting. Like now with the songs we're with as a 4-piece to the 3-piece, and we have some new songs we're writing and working on right now, and so we're still releasing. We have another single coming out. We don't know exactly when we're making it. We're working on the music video. We shot it already. It's being edited, so it's gonna be
It's violent.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most
in a good way.
violent-
It's in a good way.
I love it.
Like B horror movie way.
Yeah, it's like
type
a
of
B
thing.
horror movie.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I love that. So
Yeah.
So
let's
yeah,
talk.
I think we're still like, you're still, I think you're always like changing, and you kind of like got to roll with it. And
Awesome. So now being a part of the Milwaukee scene, and I'm in Madison, and the scenes are actually totally different between Madison and Milwaukee. There's a big musical difference between the two cities for sure. Are there like I have relatives in Milwaukee, and are there any like local bands or artists out there that you'd recommend that I go see?
Oh man, I'm a big fan of Astral Hand.
yeah, we're going to see them
yeah.
at the Cooperage on
with their
Friday.
collections of
Collections,
colonies
right?
of bees who they were Volcano Choir. You ever heard of them? But there's also Cripes, who
Yep,
we
our
played
friends
with.
of us,
They've
yep.
grown quite a bit in the last year or so. They've been doing really great.
Friends in North
Awesome.
Warren practice in my basement once in a while.
Yeah,
Awesome.
North Warren. And
Yeah,
That's great.
Hijack. You ever heard
Drop
of them?
Air Collective.
Yeah, I think I've heard of Hijack. I don't know.
Those guys.
So
I might have heard of them.
let's talk about the future of Faded Places. So what can fans expect from you guys in the coming months? Do you have any like new tours? You talked about new music, right? So do you have anything else coming up?
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
you're the
Well,
we have a full-on EP that's coming out eventually.
Yeah.
yeah, so we're working to have a single. We just released a single with a lyric video that Ka Productions did, and then we're working with a friend Cheston Van House to do this next video that he's editing and shot. Very DIY, but he's a super talented dude. So we're excited for that. And then we'll have the EP release probably this spring, and then from there we're trying to get out of Milwaukee and hit some neighboring areas, Madison, Chicago.
Yeah, Madison will have us. That'd be cool.
etc. And get and kind of expand our reach. We're working right now. We're building our new website. We're gonna have a merch store on there,
Awesome.
and stuff like that. I'm honestly kind of feeling that we're gonna release the EP direct first on our website for download versus just going right to Spotify.
Awesome.
So,
That's cool.
and then later we will eventually add it to Spotify. But I think at first it's really hard for artists of our caliber in this local scene to receive any sort of financial gain from putting all the money and time you put into something to just turn around and give it away to Spotify.
Right.
It's definitely, yeah, a thing.
Definitely. And I happen to know a guy who books at the Annex, who books artists at the Annex here in Madison, Wisconsin. So let me put a bug in his ear. And
Excellent.
I'll give him your email address and have you guys get in contact with him as well. So his name is Jake Olson, really cool dude. And the Annex is my home away from home. I go to shows there at least once a month, if not more. So I would love to see if we can get you guys booked in there.
It'd be awesome.
I haven't been there in years. Last time I was through there, I was a sound guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which is one of the benefits too. We're mixing our own album, with our own EP, I should say.
I was just going to say that's got to be convenient for mixing wise and production. That's got to be awesome.
Yeah, he's spearheading it. So
Yeah,
and we just get together and have like listening edit sessions where we put in our 2 cents and kind of make some changes, and that's what we're doing after this as well. So
Fantastic. So
working.
when you guys aren't like putting together music and listening to edits and booking shows and what do you guys like to do in your downtime when you're not doing all of that stuff?
Practice.
We also practice.
Yeah.
I enjoy honestly when I'm finally done for the day. I like shows and movies and independent films and stuff like that.
Cool.
On the horror side of things as well.
Yeah.
I paintball.
He paintballs. He's a paintball warrior.
Yeah.
I go out to other states and participate in their big games, like basically 1500 on 1500 or something like that. And sometimes it involves tanks, sometimes it involves different pyrotechnics and things like that.
It's serious.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Sounds serious.
And then
That sounds dangerous,
I
man.
relax.
Yeah. I live on a hobby farm, so I do a lot of taking care of chickens and a lot of
Awesome.
maintenance around the place and all that good stuff. So I'm kind of a farmer on my time off.
That actually sounds pretty relaxing, to be honest.
It's not. No. It's not.
No.
There's a lot to do.
So now this is a question that I like to ask everybody because it gives me a sense of you more as artists. If you could collaborate with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Ooh, I would say Ween.
Yeah. I would say Frank Zappa.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a new one. I've never heard that answer before. That's a really cool answer.
Yeah.
Because Zappa was a pioneer back in the day.
He was also a complete hard ass and would totally like rip me out of my space and make me check out new things. So
Awesome.
I would say Ginger Baker. I mean, like, of course, he passed, and I mean, I took the one person I did take former drum lessons from is Kofi Baker, so Ginger Baker's son.
Awesome.
So I think it would actually be cool to collab with Kofi's dad, Ginger.
Awesome. Those are all killer answers, man. Those are great. So in this day and age of social media and doing shows and hanging out with fans before show, after show, what is the best way that you guys have found to really stay connected with your fans and the people that follow you?
social media, really.
Yeah.
I mean, because that it's just kind of a built-in thing. You can, it's easy to get people on board, and the communication is, you can craft whatever the heck you want. I mean, not that we craft a hell of a lot, but we do plan releases and communications to keep a regular cadence with people to make sure people stay engaged, even when we're not playing out a whole lot like we have been lately. So
Awesome.
I think also being those guys that like hang out after the show and like don't just like play and
Oh,
bounce. Like especially being part of your scene. Like there's so many times where a band will, you have a bill of bands and they all have their own little thing, and so I think it's important to also be a fan to the other bands that are playing and stay and hang.
I would
That's
actually
awesome.
build up on that one and say that for me, I even friend a lot of fans too. So I was like breaking that whole entire wall of, oh, they're a musician or they're higher up. It's like, no, we're actually like legit humans and can get lonely as time and can actually still communicate with other humans. So being just basically on that ground level and being that type of a friend to fans, I think has been very important in connecting as well.
That's fantastic, and that's one of the things I was going to ask is the importance of hanging out after a show, not only to be there to talk with your fans who are going to come up to you and buy, talk to you, buy your merch, and ask you questions, but supporting the other bands that are actually there. To me, I see that a lot when I go to shows at the Annex, and I think that and I've seen bands who open and then just bounce, and they're out, and it's like, why the hell are you there to not support anybody else too? I mean, that's one thing that I'm super happy to hear that you guys do is not just there for your fans, but you want to support the other bands too. And I think that's supremely important. And honestly, it gets you booked for more shows if you do that too, right?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I think that is a thing that I think if everybody should be supportive, there's so many bands and it's so hard now to be a musician. And like you said, with everything just so instantaneous and everything is, you constantly have to create content and content costs money and not
Right.
all of it, but there, stuff does. And then just, so I think it is very important to support each other for sure.
Yeah. Fantastic. So now staying in the fan area here, have you had any super like memorable experiences with any fans at all? Any fans do anything like outrageous that you remember or anything like that that you've had that really sticks out in your brain?
I don't know if I want to call this out.
I do have one, but I'm
I
curious
think
on
I'll give
yours.
you yours. Yeah.
Okay,
It's just
mine is actually nicer though
Okay.
because
This is
remember
not
when
terrible.
and Liza was out there for one of our outdoor gigs, and then I was kind of like giving her like drum lessons or just had like a snare set up before even like playing. Like doing things like that is actually kind of cool to me and sticks out in my head.
And then our friend Dina, who actually makes our merch and sells merch for us, we met her because she came and seen us play.
Mhm.
And
That's
then we
cool.
became friends. And she was like, she does this stuff, and we're like, well. And then now she's making our shirts, and she's at all of our shows selling the cotton and our CDs and all that stuff. So
Dina
that's
Dixon.
yep.
Yep.
So
Awesome. So moving ahead, and we're getting close to time here. So I have a few more questions that I want to ask. If Because you guys have been in the scene for a while, whether it's been with Faded Places or different bands, you guys have been around the music industry for a while in one way or another. What advice would you give to anybody like an aspiring musician looking to make their name heard, to get out there or be heard?
Be honest. Be who you are. Don't try and be something else. I see a lot of people trying to be their favorite band or trying to emulate what they've seen. And that's if you think about the greats, the true greats, none of them ever did that. And no, playing covers does not get you noticed and sneaking in originals once in a while. That doesn't work.
Solid
Well,
advice.
it did for Hootie and the Blowfish. But do you want to be Hootie? Do you want to be Hootie?
All right, so now we're gonna get to some fun stuff. Um, when you guys are on stage, it's all kind of ad hoc, right? There's certain amount of rehearsing that goes in and certain amount of, but there's also like real life stuff that happens. What is the craziest thing that's ever happened to any of you on stage?
That we're playing or other people are playing?
actually, I would
Well,
say
you guys
that,
are on stage.
I would chill on the
Yeah.
hill, dude. Chill on the hill.
Chill,
He bounces around a lot, and like we all have our on stage personalities. I'm very stoic, and I'm like, but I'm always doing something with my pedals, so I'm like always preoccupied. And I kind of like my thing is I look over everybody's head. So
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like I'm looking, but I'm not like fixated on anyone because then I get like in my head. So I just look above everyone. But he gets bouncy, and then so at Show the Hill, he knocked over his vocal mic, and then he popped the bass string. And luckily, the bass player in the other band came out and gave him a bass.
He presented it to me, and we did a whole ceremony. And it was interesting. He had a 5-string bass, and
So, yeah.
it was a very jazz reggae oriented kind of instrument. So I had to do a quick alteration there, but yeah.
Like make do on the fly.
Mhm.
So another fun question. If your music could be any food, what food would it be and why?
Angel food cake.
No, angel. Okay, maybe with like a grape jelly on it.
Angel food cake with a grape jelly.
Yeah,
a vanilla icing fondant on top.
There's got to be matcha tea in there too somewhere.
There's matcha tea inside.
We're like a
the
meal,
cake.
like a weird, bizarre, like a
And espresso beans just thrown at it.
Yeah. there you
Yes,
go.
espresso beans.
The side of Monster Energy drink.
Put it on the menu.
Yes.
Put it on the menu. Call it the faded plate.
I love it. So now, last question I have for you guys, and this is one that I just like made up as we've been going through, and it's because I heard about bouncing. Which one of you is most likely to start like a spontaneous dance party while you guys are playing?
It's a tie between Jeremy and myself.
He has to sit still. He has to sit still. So probably me, because if he gets up, the drum thing is pretty much done.
Yeah.
So
I want to dance, but my kit kind of doesn't allow that for me.
Yeah.
Like I need to figure out a way to just waddle out there in the crowd, still behind my kit.
Drumming
still
is
kinda,
dancing.
like, do
Yeah.
that. It is actually
Drumming
with
is
all
dancing.
my limbs going at the same time.
It is kind of. Well, guys, that's all I've got for you. This was fun, man. I've only done a couple interviews on the station so far. You guys are going to help me get out there and do some more just by me doing this with you guys. I appreciate it. Do you have anything that you would love to tell people about upcoming shows, about new releases? I heard you have a video coming out. Talk more about that real quick.
So we do have an upcoming show at Bremen Cafe in River West in Milwaukee. It's real small, real intimate kind of thing. We're doing it with some friends, just as a little one-off. It's one of our trio shows. But the EP coming out, the two songs that you hear as singles are more on that sort of tailored rock edge. But the other three that we're working on right now, we're just upstairs, have a lot of mood, a lot of space. There's a lot more instrumentalism, and it's definitely a journey. So look for that EP.
All right. Well, guys, that's all I've got for you guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate this. And man, let's do this again, come spring when, you guys might have some more stuff coming out. You've talked about your EP and all of that stuff. When you guys are ready to drop that, let me know. We'll go ahead and we'll do this again so we can pump it a little bit.
Awesome.
We appreciate it. Thanks for the support.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
absolutely, guys. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate your time as well.
Appreciate it.
All right. See you guys later.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.